Grandma, I can't play rugby right now. I gotta make these tutorials. We'll play afterwards. Just get out of my room. What's up, guys? Welcome to your 10th Android tutorial for the new boss. And again, my name's Travis. What we're going to do in this tutorial is basically finish up our Java class, get our application running for the most part, and, let's just hop right into it. Let's do a quick overview of what we want our application to do. Basically, we're going to have this text view change according to whatever our counter variable is. And our counter variable is going to be added to or subtracted by 1, whether the sub button is clicked or the add button is clicked. So let's set up our whatever is within our onClick for add button. So we're going to do that within this onClick method, again, these two brackets. And when our application starts, our counter starts at 0. So what we want to do is when the add button is clicked, we want to add 1 to this counter object, or this counter variable for the most part. So what we're going to say is we're going to say counter, and we're going to set this equal to, and you can do this a few different ways. You can say counter plus 1, which is a bad way to program, but basically what this is saying is whatever our counter variable is, which is 0, we're going to add 1 to it, and then that's what our counter variable is now going to equal. It's kind of confusing, especially if you guys are huge into math. You're like, what is this? That's impossible. So yeah, we're going to do it a different way. You can also say plus equals 1 like that, and that will just add 1 to the counter variable. Or you can also, this is beneficial for doing, like, if you wanted to add 10, add 10 to the counter integer variable. But also we can do, if we're just going to add it by 1, which we are, we can use plus plus. So basically that's going to add 1 to our counter variable. And again, counter starts at 0, so every time the add button is clicked, it's going to add 1 to the counter variable. So let's develop or go into our onClick for the sub and do the same thing except subtract. So we're going to say counter minus minus, and that's going to subtract by 1. Alright, the only other thing we need to do is we need to change the display. Again, we have a text view called display, and it has the reference for basically that text within our XML. So we want to change that. What we can do is we can, again, since we imported the TextView class within Java, we can use some of those methods from the TextView class on our TextView. So what we're going to do is just type out our variable name, which was display, and we're going to hit dot. And again, you can use all these methods. And there's a method called setText that we're going to use, and that's going to change the text, or basically set whatever the text is going to be. I wasn't going to scroll to it, but okay, so that's what we're going to use. We're just going to click this, and within here we can do something like your total is space, and then end your quotations, and then hit the plus symbol and put counter. And basically that's going to convert counter into, you can think of it as a string. Again, strings are for words and such like that. So basically it's going to say your total is plus whatever the value of our counter is. So that's pretty neat, and that's what we're going to use. So now that's going to change the text, or set the text of our display that we have set up. Hopefully that made sense. I know I'm kind of going quick through this as well, but that's how it's going to work. That's how our application is going to work. It's going to set the text to quotations, your total is space, and then whatever our int variable called counter is equal to. Now I just want to quickly just say, if you guys try it like this just to get the number, it's not going to work. I mean, the setText won't work like that. You need to have some quotations in there, and then like a plus like that. So just make sure you guys are doing the actual the way that this way, with some text in there in quotations plus whatever our variable counter is. So let's run the application real quick and make sure it works. I'm going to save it and run it quickly. Again, I had the emulator pulled up. Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind. Alright, so here's our activity. Let's test it out. So if we click the add one button, it's going to add one to our counter object, and then it's going to reset this whole text each time. Our subtract works as well. So, you know, we can sell this application to your little brother for like $10,000, and we're pretty much done. I mean, if we make $10,000 off this app by selling it to your little brother, we are golden. Alright, well, hopefully you guys kind of understood that tutorial for the most part. Again, I know it's probably foggy and we're jumping into stuff pretty quickly, but trust me, we're going to go back and kind of cover some of the stuff you guys don't understand. But thanks again for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial.